Swadika. It's so nice to see you for this Thursday, January 28th edition of Newsline. Newsline broadcasts live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and also on NBT World. And you're with me, Sandra Han Utsaha. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. In our first story, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has presided over the 58th anniversary ceremony of the Armed Forces Academy's preparatory school. The celebrations featured various activities such as a military parade, a wreath-laying ceremony at the King Rama V statue, a reunion between alumni and teachers, and an award ceremony for outstanding alumni. This year's award recipients included Permanent Secretary of Defense General Pricha Chan-o-cha, Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Thai Army General Thirachai Nakwanit, and Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Thai Army Admiral Na Arinit. The Ministry of Defense decided to combine the Army, Air Force, and Navy preparatory schools into the Armed Forces Academy's Preparatory School, or AFAPS, in 1958. The objectives of the merger were to train military cadets to become officers of the Royal Thai Armed Forces and promote unity and harmony among the military branches. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment has signed a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, with 5 main organizations to tackle corruption in the public sector. Minister of Natural Resources and Environment General Surasak Kanchanarat signed the MOU with the National Anti-Corruption Commission, the Public Sector Anti-Corruption Commission, the Department of Special Investigation, the Office of the Auditor General, and the Anti-Corruption Foundation. The minister said the cooperation between the 5 organizations to combat corruption was developed after the government discovered malfeasance among high-ranking officials. From now on, all of the organizations are to work together in raising awareness and preventing corruption in all aspects, with the objective to increase transparency in the public and private sectors. The issues of illegal, unreported, and unregulated, or IUU, fishing in Thailand are among the government's main concerns. After receiving a yellow card from the European Union, the Thai government has launched a multi-pronged campaign against IUU fishing in the kingdom's waters. Let's have a look at this special report.
In addition to labours in the fishing boats, there are also labours on land, or labour in the fish processing industry. The country needs a lot of these workers to support production and export. Most of the workers are migrants from neighbouring countries. Long is a primary fish processing facility. The tasks of the labourers who work in these primary fish processing facilities are basic, including rinsing and peeling before sending products to the factory to be processed into food or exported to different countries such as the United States, Japan, and the EU countries. Thailand is the world's largest shrimp exporter and makes more than several billion baht per year. But now Thailand is being watched by foreigners from the news report of the use of slave labor in shrimp peeling factories. At present, this problem is being solved urgently and seriously, driven by the effort of the CCCIF, which has integrated all efforts from related agencies and organizations involved. Law enforcement is being imposed seriously and effectively. For example, the recent factory raid in Samut Sakhon at the end of last year.
ที่มานี่ไม่ได้มาจับผิดมาเพื่อตรวจเพื่อส่งเสริมให้ทำตามกฎหมายโดยไวเพราะรัฐบาลนี่เขารอไม่ได้เราต้องให้มันโปร่งใสไงตรวจสอบได้ในคะแนน220 บาทต่อวัน
จากนี้ต่อไปการบูรณาการนี้ไม่ได้จบสิ้นอยู่แค่ตรงนี้นะครับการนี้รัฐบาลกำลังจะนะครับบูรณาการการปฏิบัติอย่างเป็นรูปธรรมออกกฎหมายฉบับใหม่เรียกว่าพระราชบัญญัติการรักษาผลประโยชน์ของชาติทางทะเล
On to other news now. Officials have proposed including the Bangkok-Rayong high-speed rail project in the Public-Private Partnership, or PPP, fast-track program to encourage private investment. Finance Minister Apisak Tantiwarawong chaired a recent meeting of a committee formed to draft policy on private spending on public sector projects. The meeting discussed 5 major projects of the Ministry of Transport seeking inclusion in the PPP fast track. Mr. Apisak later revealed that the 5 projects, which include the Karai-Minburi Pink Electric Line and La Prao-Samrong Yellow Electric Line, will likely be added to the PPP fast track by February this year. Only the Blue Line has hit an obstacle as its information has yet to be reviewed, and relevant agencies have been tasked with urgently remedying the delay. A deal has been made between the public, private, and civil sectors to promote Thai tourism through meeting and incentive travel in the country. Tourism and Sports Minister Gopkan Watanawarangoon was joined by representatives of 21 private and civil organizations at the signing of a memorandum of cooperation on a campaign to stimulate the meeting and incentive sector. The collaboration aimed at boosting tourism and distributing income to residents nationwide is expected to bear fruit in the next 6 months. Under the agreement, the private sector will support over 700 companies in organizing meetings or seminars in the provinces at least once by the middle of this year. On behalf of the public sector, the Ministry of Tourism and Sports and the Thailand Convention and Exhibition Bureau will be in charge of policy implementation, while the Tourism Authority of Thailand will provide informational support in terms of travel destinations and routes. The Ministry of Finance has given assurances that the Cabinet's recent approval of a 35 billion baht fund for economic stimulus measures are not redundant, considering the existing 5 million baht per sub-district scheme. Director of the Fiscal Policy Office, Karisada Jina Wicharana, has confirmed that the new program will inject money into more than 556 funds for 79,000 villages. The funds must be allocated to infrastructure development projects such as irrigation, barns, fertilizer plants, and agricultural processing plants. Each village will not receive more than 500,000 baht. The investment project will not overlap with the existing 5 million baht per sub-district project, and the committee tasked with assessing the needs of villages expects the new project will expand the Thai economy by 0.15% this year. The national reform process will achieve substantial success within the planned time frame, according to a government-appointed committee tasked with the coordination of works with other councils. Minister attached to the office of the Prime Minister, Suwapan Thanyuwatana, said that the coordinating committee for the government, the National Legislative Assembly, and the National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, or the tripartite whip, held a meeting to discuss steering forward national reforms. Mr. Suwapan said that NRSA committees will, one by one, submit to the government each plan to implement the national reform process. The plans have already been reviewed in the NRSA's plenary meetings and developed in collaboration with all 6 deputy prime ministers who oversee different areas. He added that the meeting concluded that 126 new laws will need to be passed, and that process will need consultation from the Council of State and related agencies. The Office of the Election Commission, or EC, has announced the new 3-phase strategy to raise voter turnout for the draft Constitution's public referendum, aiming to reach a participation rate of 75 to 80%. A senior EC member, Thanit Si Pratet, revealed that the election body has approved the new strategy for referendum preparations this year and will establish a coordination center to ensure public convenience and fairness in voting. The new strategy will be divided into 3 phases. The first phase, starting in January, promotes public awareness of the importance of the referendum. The second phase includes publicizing the draft charter. The final phase informs the people of the referendum's procedures, dates, and times, while giving a balanced presentation of opinions from both sides in favor and opposed to the draft Constitution. The EC expects its new strategy will bring out 75 to 80% of eligible voters. Mr. Thanit said its budget to organize the referendum is being considered pending the resolution of legal appointments and external sponsorship. Curing disease and illness is one of the biggest challenges in the world. The United States and Thailand have many ongoing collaborations in healthcare and medicine, especially in the treatment of HIV/AIDS. And for more on this, we go to Kun Pimchanok Ratana Pisay.
HIV/AIDS are ongoing challenges considered a transnational threat which need global cooperation to combat. Asia tries to control the number of HIV-infected people, and Thailand plays a leading role in coping with the HIV/AIDS problem by imposing strategies, providing education and knowledge to stabilize the number of infected persons in Thailand, and coordinating with international efforts, including those in the United States. Tangerine Community Health Center behind me is the first transgender-specific center to offer services to the transgender community in Asia. The center is one of the great collaboration in health and medication between Thailand and the United States and become a model for quality health services and transgender health research.
Tangerine Clinic gives voice to trans people and their needs, and it says that we want to serve those needs in a manner that is respectful of human rights. And the Thai Red Cross bringing their entire scientific and research agenda to ensure not only excellent care today for trans people, but looking for those areas where they can improve through research and care in the future for trans people, I think is cutting edge for Thailand, but also will be very important for vulnerable populations around the world.
United States Ambassador at Large Dr. Deborah Birx, a coordinator of the United States government activities to combat HIV/AIDS, and United States Special Representative for Global Health Diplomacy, also visited the 18th Bangkok International Symposium on HIV Medicine 2016 as a speaker. According to the issues that have been discussed in the symposium, Dr. Prapan Panupak, director of the Thai Red Cross AIDS Research Center, and the symposium chairman made a suggestion and informed us about a government offer.
Thailand has, I think, over 4 years policy already that every Thai citizen can have free HIV testing twice a year. Okay, this has been going on for 4 or 5 years, but only 1/3 of the Thai public knows about this government offer. Okay, so that means we have to have more campaign or letting people know about this. This is a good intention for the government.
The suggestion from experts in the HIV/AIDS field would contribute benefits and help directly address this problem in our society, nation, region, and the globe. Camera work by Pornmongkol Suthi. I'm Pimchanok Ratanapised for NBT World.
And that is the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Up next in ASEAN News, the Ranong Provincial Administration has established another coordination center for Burmese workers. But first, here's a look at the exchange rates and the commodity prices.
Should give some bounty fill the trawler still I dance in thanks to thee.
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. The Ranong Provincial Administration has established an additional coordination center for Burmese workers as the province moves forward in the era of the ASEAN community. Officials from the provincial administration, municipalities of Mueang Ranong and Pak Nam, Mueang District Public Health Office, Supanimit Foundation and Marist Asia Foundation attended the unveiling ceremony of the new center, which is located in Bang Arin subdistrict of Mueang District. According to Deputy Governor Thanit Promthong, Ranong is one of the pilot provinces to establish a Myanmar town, which will serve as a residential zone for Burmese laborers. The measure is in accordance with the government's policy to recognize foreign worker habitats as the kingdom is entering the ASEAN era. The government's policy also emphasizes developing foreign worker management projects in the border provinces in preparation for economic growth along the border areas. The Myanmar town consists of 3 communities with a management office located at the Marist Asia Foundation office in Ranong. A coordinating center was previously established at Ban Pak Klong Subdistrict Health Promoting Hospital in Mueang District of Ranong Province. And that's all the time we have for this edition of Newsline. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by typing in NNT, and do have a look at our website at thainews.prd.go.th/en. Today we say goodbye with footage of tourists enjoying a hot spring in Chiang Mai Province. For Newsline, I'm Sandra Hanut Saha. Have a great day. สวัสดีค่ะ